Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the Danger Zone. I am your host, Ken Moore. I will be joined shortly by my partner, Floyd Brooks. We will break down the first round of the NFL draft. We also may take a peek over, see what's going on in the NBA playoffs tonight. What happened with the Tennessee Titans, the Indianapolis Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Dallas Cowboys? We'll discuss it all next on the Danger Zone.
You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Special Thursday night edition of the Danger Zone. We're going to be breaking down the 2024 NFL Draft. We want to get you guys' thoughts and comments on the show. So first of all, let's take care of a little housekeeping duties. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am your host, Ken Moore. This is my boy, Floyd B., and we are breaking down the NFL draft tonight. Want to welcome you all to the show. In case you are new to the show, we want to invite you guys to subscribe to the show, like the show. If you're watching on Twitter or on Facebook or on X, we want to invite you to hop over to the YouTube version of the show. That way, you guys can put in your questions, you guys can put in your comments, you guys can interact it with the show, and you can also like and subscribe to the show. My guy, Floyd B., he has been intently in tune to this since 7 o'clock tonight. He is your Adam Schefter. He is your Ian Rappaport, all wrapped up into one big chocolate chip cookie. My brother, welcome to the show, my man.
Oh, that's my boy there. That's my boy. That's my boy. I love you, my brother, man. Thank you for the great introduction, man. But hello, world, and let's get this thing started. Welcome to the Danger Zone. Let's get this thing started, Ken. Let's get it started, man.
Well, hey, man, it started off, of course, the first 3 picks in the draft, and those went how we thought they would go. Caleb Williams, number 1, Jaden Daniels, number 2, Drake Mays, number 3, and Marvin Harrison Jr., number 4. So for me, there really weren't any surprises in the top 4. What say you?
I really thought the Patriots were going to trade out of there. I really did. I really did. And then I kind of thought about it after listening to guys on social media talk about it. And then it kind of, hey, this is a different era. We cannot look at the New England Patriots as if we were looking at under the Belichick era, because it's not like that anymore. But what I do think is going to take them a while to kind of catch up with the league. Belichick buried that franchise at the end, man. Because he wouldn't change. So I was really expecting Gerard Mayo to trade the number 3 pick. I really did. Because right now you almost like giving him, I wouldn't even say Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson did come in with Garrett Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. They were in the same draft, I think. Am I right? Or one was there for the other?
I'm not sure. I'm
not quite sure. They may have been in the same draft. I'm not sure though. But again, it's like, who is he throwing the ball to? They signed Jacoby Brissett, so maybe he can be the pillar before you put May out there. But you got to build something for him. The Bears did great in trying to build something before they got their rookie quarterback. And I didn't see New England making those offseason moves, man. But to me, the twist in the draft, brother, if I may point out, is the Los Angeles Chargers.
Well, we're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them in a moment.
Yeah.
So the first 4 picks went pretty much chalk. They went pretty much how we expected them to go. We thought there may be a trade at 3, but if there wasn't going to be a trade, those were going to be the guys. Really, the decision was Washington. Which quarterback did they want? Did they want Jaden Daniels or did they want Drake May? Obviously, they went with Jaden Daniels, and so Drake May ends up in New England. Of course, they're in a total rebuild. I wouldn't even expect to see Drake May play this year unless it's at the end of the season, maybe the last couple of games of the year. But I think it's going to be Jacoby Brissett and Bailey Zappi for those top 2 spots in the New England Patriots quarterback room. Marvin Harrison Jr., we talked about on the show on Sunday. You thought the Cardinals may trade out of that pick. I said, no way. They have to take Marvin Harrison Jr. because they have to give Kyler Murray a target to see if he can really be that guy at the position, can be the quarterback at that position. Now we get into the fun and games of the draft, and the Chargers did not surprise me. For those that watched the show on Sunday night, I said the doomsday scenario for the Titans would be Joe Alt going to the Chargers at 5, Malik Neighbors going to the Giants at 6, and then the Titans would have to figure it out at 7. And that's what came to fruition. In my opinion, there was no way, if the Chargers held on to this pick, that they were going to let Joe Alt, who's presumed to be the next great left tackle in this draft, letting him slide down past them and take another tackle. I just didn't think it was possible. I was hopeful as a Titan fan that he would draft to 7, but I just didn't see it happening. And the doomsday scenario that I laid out on Sunday came to fruition tonight.
Well, with Harbaugh as the coach, we all know that.
What's up, TA?
Yeah, let TA know we fit to get to them Titans very, very quickly. I did not expect the Chargers to take Joe out. I didn't. With the last year number 1 pick, they took the guy out of TCU, Johnston, and he really didn't show that he was, that type of guy to be drafted that high in the first round. He didn't produce last year. Let's just put it like that. He didn't. So I was just sure that you have to give Justin Herbert a target, someone that you believe is going to go out and produce. I like Nader. I like the boy out of LSU, man. I really do, Ken. I like him. So just knowing Harbaugh gonna get back into this grinding game now, this run game. That's what he likes to play. Mm-hmm. If you notice, he kept Bosa, he kept Mack, he kept those guys. Because those guys can still produce, man. I really think they can do. Nick Bosa hasn't really showed me. I mean, not Nick, Joey Bosa. To me, he's on a thin line. Right now, we're just going to say he's been underachieving, mainly because of injuries. But he's on that thin line to start questioning, was he worthy of the high pick that he was selected in? Because he hasn't given us a full season in a while, kid. He hasn't. And Harbaugh believes in defense. So I think the defense is going to play much better than they did last year, and he's gonna pound. So I was surprised that he took it, but now that we know and I understand who Jim Harbaugh is, he's gonna pound. Remember, he didn't throw the football at all the second half against Penn State.
Yeah, he didn't throw the ball at all.
So, having Justin Herbert, it's great. But let's really see how Harbaugh going to use Justin Herbert.
It's going to be interesting. I think they want to build up that offensive line. I think they want to solidify having protection for Justin Herbert. And then, they still got the rest of the draft. I mean, they can likely get a good wide receiver tomorrow in the second round, assuming they don't trade back into the first round here tonight. So I think the Chargers, they took the best available player on the board. They did have need at wide receiver. They could have went with Malik Nabers, who went with the next pick to the New York Giants, who really need a wide receiver to help out Daniel Jones or whoever the hell their quarterback is going to be going forward. So it was a disappointment. I know Titan Nation was heartbroken. I saw Titans Twitter. I saw Titans Facebook. Because the whole buildup was Joe Alt. The last since the season ended. Since the season ended for the Titans, it was Joe Alt. And when he was gone, people were like, all right, well, maybe we can get Malik Nabers. Well, we knew Malik Nabers wasn't getting past the Giants. There was zero chance of that happening. And then we came to the Titans pick, and they went with J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. Fans were not happy with this, my brother. They were not happy. A name. I don't know if that's a real name or a no name or a name. I still refuse to believe Latham was their top-rated player. And according to the Titans, this is the guy they wanted. Now, all teams say that. All teams say that when their guy's not there. And I believe Rand Carthon actually said in the press conference after the Titans pick that they had a feeling that the Chargers were going to take Joe Alt and that he wouldn't be there at 5. And apparently they didn't want to trade up. Now, what I felt the Titans should do is trade back at that point. They didn't do that. But here's the problem that I have with this pick. And I'm not going to flip out about it. It's a new coaching staff. It's a new regime in Tennessee. I'm not sure what their grading process is. But here's my thought on linemen from Alabama, generally speaking. And this has been said by more than just me. And it's been proven out over the past decade since Nick Saban has been the head coach there. Their linemen, offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they tend to peak in college because their competition at Alabama is so tough And I'm not talking about in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about in their own practices.
Mm-hmm.
Their own practices are so tough. They're so demanding because you're going up against 5-star defensive linemen on the other side. You got 5-star backups behind you trying to take your job. Those practices in the grind every single day for 3 or 4 years. It's hard when those guys transition to the NFL to keep that same level of production or to increase that level of production against NFL guys that have been in the league for 5 or 6 years. It's just hard, man. It's just hard. And then now you're talking about moving a guy. In high school, he played left tackle, but in college, he played right tackle. And then you want to transition him back to left tackle in the NFL. If he's so great, why wasn't he playing left tackle at Alabama? He was delegated to the right side. So those things give me cause to pause with this pick, but I'm not going to flip out about it. I'm just going to sit back, take a look, and figure it out.
That was a good research. Where we got that information from in your deliverance and what you just said made me look at it from a whole different way. It made me see it from a whole different way. But then after listening, I learned to respect what you just said, respectfully. But here's my definition of the offensive lineman that come out the University of Alabama. And I want to say the last 5 or 6 years. I can go back that far and be pretty accurate. They remind me of old school Ohio State quarterbacks. Great collegiate players, but couldn't do the transition into the NFL. It's what they remind me of, you know. Now, what you said, I didn't. I have never looked at it like that, Ken. I hadn't. But it makes sense when you burnt out. You could be possibly burnt out when you get to the NFL. You could possibly be burnt out. And I understand that can happen. It can happen. But just from the average fan, you know, that I am, I probably wouldn't look that deep because history says they're not that good when they get to this level. It goes back with, especially the Ohio State quarterback, the Troy Smith won Heisman. They had Cardale and all those guys come out. Remind me of Oklahoma quarterbacks in the early 90s and 80s who was great collegiate quarterbacks and couldn't make the transition. I would trade out. If I couldn't get the best guy on the board and I still am addressing my offensive line. Now, I will say this. You got Bill Callahan as offensive line coach. He's one of the best that's been around for a long time. So he's going to get coached right. I trust that. He's going to get coached right. But again, if offensive lineman is what you were searching, and this is your number one priority going into the draft is to beef up your offensive line, and you can't get the best one that's available, you're right. You trade down because J.C. Latham probably would have been anywhere else you traded down. He'd have been there. He'd have been there. You could have got more picks, and you could have helped. You could have helped more on the offensive side of the ball, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because you sometimes, man, you have to make a bold move. You got to make a bold move. Sometimes you just can't stick with the cards you got. You know, maybe you got to sell a bluff sometime or something. But you have to think outside the box. And that's what a lot of GM don't do. They stay traditional. We know that. We all know offensive linemen. You build front to back. You know, we know that. We know that. But with today's quarterbacks that's coming into the NFL, most of them are pretty noble. Do you not agree, my brother?
Most of the quarterbacks, absolutely.
Yes. And so the quarterback is going to make the offensive line more better than they probably is. And a good example of that, Ken, is the Texans of last year. It wasn't a great offensive line by no means. It at best average. At best, they were average. At best. The quarterback makes the offensive line great. Do you not agree, my brother?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the ability of the quarterback to get you in the proper protection package, to read the defense, to slide the line one way or the other in combination with the center making his calls, and of course, being able to move and get rid of the football in the pocket and things of that nature, that all helps your offensive line. That all helps your offensive line. You're absolutely right.
So, I mean, if you're going all in, and it seems that way, you know, you got Levis for what, 2 more years? You got Will Levis 2 more years. It's kind of obvious to me that you're going all in with him. Why not give him more? Trade down, get you more picks. Give him something to work with.
We got some breaking news. Breaking news. There has been a trade. The Kansas City Chiefs have moved up from the last pick in the draft to number 29 to take University of Texas wide receiver and track star Xavier Worthy. Worthy was a guy I was desperately hoping the Titans would trade back up into the first round to take. He broke the all-time record for the fastest 40 time in NFL history. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, look, man, the rich get richer. Now they can finally replace that speed that they lost with Tyreek Hill. Of course, Rashid Rice got into trouble this offseason. He will probably get suspended at the beginning of next year, maybe 2 games, maybe 4 games, maybe 6 games, depending on what happens with his legal case. But the Chiefs move up from 32 to 29, and this is the guy that I thought they would get all along, Xavier Worthy. And man, oh man, that just makes things a whole lot harder for everyone in the AFC.
Funny, before we came on, you was asking, had any of them got traded? Have any of them been drafted? And you know what I told you. Hey, nice pickup. You need speed. Listen, speed never hurts. Speed never hurts. My concern with Worthy, after I saw him run the 40 at the combine, was to look in on him. You know, dig, look, let me see what he got. And Tyreek Hill is a football player that ran track. Worthy is a track star trying to be a football player.
I think he's a damn good football player, bro. I think he's a damn good football player.
Listen.
He's not Ronaldo Nehemiah. Ronaldo Nehemiah. Those in the chat, if you don't know who Ronaldo Nehemiah is, go to YouTube.
World Olympic of 400 meters hurdler
for San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah, Olympic hurdler, and he tried to play football.
Yes, Skeet Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Skeet Nehemiah.
Yes, sir.
We also had Willie Go, Bob Hayes. They were all track stars. I didn't say that, my brother, to say the guy couldn't play football. I didn't say he couldn't play. I'm just telling you what that's his build. That's his makeup. You know, he's gonna have to learn. Tyreek can route you up. Tyreek Hill will route you up. If Xavier Worthy can give us half of Tyreek, and you got Marquise Brown on the other side, it's a good pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs. Shout out to the boy out of Texas, man. Hey, I ain't no hater. Ain't no hater, Ken. Now, no, I'm not. But he got to be coached up. And he went to the right place to be coached up, bro.
No doubt. No doubt. He is in a perfect spot. He is in a perfect spot. So congratulations to my boy, Xavier Worthy from the University of Texas, headed to the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to put a bow on J.C. Latham, and then we're going to see the pick is in for the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see who comes off the board for them, as they are pick number 30 in the NFL draft. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Titans do with Latham. They've already said they're going to move him to left tackle. So presumably you got him at left tackle, former right. So here's the problem with the Titans.
Yeah.
You got a former.
Here you go. You
know I go. You got a guy that played right tackle in college. He's going to be your left tackle. You got a guy in Skoronski who played left tackle in college. He's going to be your left guard. And then, of course, you got Cushenberry at center, and you still got to figure out the right side of your offensive line. So, Will Levis better go to a lot of prayer sessions, a lot of church, a lot of Bible revivals, and do a lot of praying with his mayo sandwiches and all that good stuff. Because I am concerned about my boy Will going into next year. But we have 6 more rounds of the draft the rest of the weekend. So we'll see how it all plays out. Now,
your current head coach comes from the Cincinnati Bengals. And what's the Bengal coach name? I slipped my mind.
Cincinnati?
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm looking at his face right now, and I just drew a blank.
Oh man, that's cold-blooded, man. we getting old, man. We getting old, man. But he comes from what's the coach name? Boy, that's
Zach Taylor, man. Zach Taylor,
man. Come up on the ball for the Rams. He come from up under him. But I watch Burrow play. Joe Burrow just don't sit there in the pocket. The Bengals didn't have the best offensive line, brother. Why you think he's been injured a lot? They don't have the best offensive line. They didn't have the best offensive line. They didn't. Joe moves around. He moves around to make up for the bad offensive line. If Levis can move around, man, because I still believe in DeAndre Hopkins. And I still believe in Calvin Ridley. I really believe that they are still top receivers in the league. Are they top 5 here? No, they're not top 5. A-Name is talking again.
Yeah, he said, have a good night, man. He hoped the Titans got it right. He'll be patiently optimistic. Not sure he has the quickness to make it work. All right, brother. We appreciate you, man. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button on your way out, brother.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm not putting a lot of. Again, I'd have traded down though. I'd have traded down.
No doubt. Well, my man, here's where it got interesting.
Yes.
The Atlanta Falcons at number 8, right behind the Titans. They went with Michael Penix Jr. This after they signed Kirk Cousins to did they give him 3 years or 2 years, $100 million?
3 year.
3 year, $100 million contract?
Yeah.
and you draft Michael Penix
Yeah.
with the 8th pick in the draft
Yes.
to do what?
Yes.
What is he going to do?
Yes. Yes.
What
Get it
is he
off your
gonna
chest. Go ahead.
No, I'm asking. I don't understand the pick.
Here's why I don't have a problem with it. Here's why I don't have a problem with it. It was 3 year, won something with $100 million guarantee. Whatever the contract was. Kirk Cousins is 36 years old. Am I right?
Okay.
Similar on that, right? Kirk Cousins 36 years old. And he's coming off an injury. Yes, you get him. Who knows how he's going to be? I love this here. I love it. You know why? Kirk Cousins got to come on with it. He's got pressure on him. He needs pressure on him. Yeah, you done went to the bank. How you like that? How you like that? You went to the bank. Now you got a young brother over your shoulders. You better go get it. Because I like I forgot the offense coordinator that Atlanta had hired. But he come from up under McVay as well. McVay, O'Connor, the quarterback, the Kevin O'Connor, the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. The offensive coordinator comes from the Vikings. So they're all up under that tree. That's why Kirk kind of fit in. That's why they wanted Kirk. But something tell me Kirk is might not make it out the season, man.
You mean from a health perspective?
Yeah, from a health perspective. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kirk Cousins signed a 4-year, $180 million contract.
$100 million guaranteed.
$50 million signing bonus, $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
His dead cap for the next 3 years. Hold on. I just had it. His dead cap for the next 3 years. He has hold on. Okay, $25 million cap hit this year, $40 million cap hit in 25, $57.5 million cap hit in 2026.
He won't be that in.
Oh, yeah, he will. Oh, yeah, he will. Well, now he may not. He may not because
he won't be that in. The $25 million hit this year is okay. Even the $40 million hit next year is okay, based on the salary that's coming out right now and projected to be next season. Those are bargains. Those are bargain cap hits. The hit comes the third year. He won't be there then.
Yeah, the dead cap in his third year is $25 million. So they would have a dead cap of $25 million in 2026. So essentially, you're saying they're going to pay this dude $100 million to play for 2 years, and he may not even play all of this year because he's coming off the injury. Yes, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean
I don't mind the Michael Penix pick, but the combination of picking Penix and paying Kirk Cousins $100 million for 2 years.
2 years.
That's crazy, man. That's
won't be there for 2 years.
That general manager
won't be there for 2 years. And as we go on, we'll hear more about the contract because, like you say, it doesn't make sense. I mean, just totally. That's a brainstorm. It's a brain that was a brainstorm in most people's eyes. It was a brainstorm. Why do this? Because you've done this, and done this. I think they know some or feel a little something about Kirk Cousins that maybe we don't. I don't have a problem with him picking that. Sometimes you take a risk, you do what you do. Look what Denver did. Look the cap hit they took. Took a $40 million cap hit. Come on, man. They took a cap hit, man. These are multi-billionaires, man. These are
That ain't got nothing to
multi-billionaires.
do with the salary. That has nothing to do with the
You know.
salary cap. It's not baseball.
No, I mean,
Now the
it's a cap.
salary cap.
It's a cap. It's against a cap. It's dead money against the cap. It's 25 million count against the cap for a player that's not even there.
That's not good.
It's 25 million.
That's very poor team building. That's very poor team building. I'm happy for Michael Penix. I'm happy for Michael Penix, but that's very poor team building, man.
I like that. I like that. Now tell me, now the 49ers just got lucky with Purdy, but look what all they gave up to come up to get the number 3 pick, Trey Lance, and he's not even long on the team. You sometimes you take these chances, man.
I got you.
And they don't always pan out to be as expected. But it's the beauty of the NFL, Ken. It's the beauty of the NFL. It will keep us going. It will keep us going. Even the pick that the Titans had was not the right pick in most Titan fans' eyesight. But it's the beauty of the NFL that keep us talking about it year round, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be all right. I like them drafting him. Kirk put a fire up on Kirk Cousins and ask him to go out there and perform. Go do it.
All right.
Go do it.
Number 10, J.J. McCarthy was the next quarterback off the board. The Vikings flipped spots with the New York Jets. I believe they gave up a 4th and a 5th round pick. They got in return the 10th pick, and I believe a 6th round pick was the compensation for that pick. J.J. McCarthy, I think, overrated, but I think of all the quarterbacks, he's in the best position to succeed because the Vikings are in a plug-and-play situation. They got Justin Jefferson on the outside. And so McCarthy's in a good situation, but I don't know if he's an NFL caliber quarterback. But he's going to be given every opportunity to succeed. And they didn't have to move up for to get it. That was the key for Minnesota. They got to keep their number 23 pick.
Overrated, as far as I can see, as a quarterback. I personally didn't even think he was a first-round quarterback. Now, the guy may prove us all to be wrong. I hope he do. But sometimes it just bothers me that some guys that just get these breaks, get in the right place, the right time. I think Brady was at the right time in the right place too. Sometimes you be at the right place at the right time. And they're going to play Sam Darnold unless McCarthy just come in and lights out. They're going to start the season with Sam Darnold. Do we both agree on that?
I would assume so.
And again, now the Justin Jefferson talks can stop because they're going to give him whatever he asks for. Because hopefully the quarterback that you pick pans out and we got him on the cheap for the next 4 or 5 years. He's overrated. I wouldn't have picked him. I wouldn't have did that. I mean, they traded up one spot. Now, see, that's the stuff that don't make sense to me, Ken. They traded up one spot. Who would have been in high pursuit of J.J. McCarthy in the 10th spot? Who else would have been in pursuit of him? I mean, that didn't make sense. You trade up one spot. It didn't make sense, Ken.
The Buffalo Bills just traded back a second time. They traded back to 32 with Kansas City. Now they've traded back to 33. So the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Continue, my brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think you didn't have to give up. I mean, what it was, a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth, okay. But I still thought he'd have been there. I mean, would the Raiders have moved up 2 spots down to get it? Who knows? Because this had already happened. I know we haven't went too far in the program, but I like to nominate the Las Vegas Raiders to be in the danger zone.
We got 2 more picks before we get to the Raiders.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he overrated, man. I haven't seen enough of him as a quarterback. I'm just like you on that one right there. I haven't seen enough of him just to think that he was a top 10 quarterback, you know. But hey, you know how it is, man. The combine shows wonders, I guess. I'm gonna just leave it like that.
No doubt. At number 11, the Jets took Fashanu. I kind of thought that's where the Titans may go with that pick, but the Jets take him at number 11. And then another quarterback off the board at 12 was Bo Nix, as he goes to Denver. And now Sean Payton got rid of Russell Wilson. They just traded for Zach Wilson. Now you have Bo Nix in the mix. You still got Jarrett Stidham, I believe, in the quarterback room as well. So, man, you got a smash pile of just, I don't know what they got going on in Denver, bro. They may be picking number 1 next year.
Possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Remember, I told you this. I said, to me, I think the 2 guys that'll be successful first in the NFL and early on, for the most part, was Bo Nix and Michael Penix. And looking at where both of them landed, there's a highly strong possibility, especially for Nix, that he will come out the gate playing. He still got Cortland Sutherland. They can give him another weapon or so. I mean, Bo Nix is a grown man. He's 24 years old. He's a grown man.
You know what else he is?
Huh?
You're in the danger zone.
Oh, Nix is in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone with Sean Payton, bro. You're in the danger zone, man. You're in the danger zone. I just don't trust it, bro. I do not trust the Denver Broncos and that organization and what they're doing over there. They're going to have a top 3 pick next year. They're going to have a top 3 pick next year.
Peyton has the guy he wants. And for FCC cover airways and everything, we're going to leave it like that. We're going to leave it like that. He got the guy he wants. Man, I don't take nothing away from Sean Payton as a coach. I don't. I have a few issues with him as a person. I do. That's for another topic. But I don't have a problem with him as a head coach. Because let's be real, man. Until they wanted this man to restructure his contract, they were in the hunt for the playoff, Ken. They were in the playoff hunt. And I thought they had a good shot at getting in. A good shot.
They had a good shot,
until
they told Russell Wilson, hey, you need to quit playing, or either you need to you need to restructure your contract.
Yeah.
After he went and beat Kansas City.
Yes.
Who does that? Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. Now, out of respect for my brother, because I love you, I'm just going to put him in the danger zone. Not Bo Nix. Sean.
You're in the danger zone.
Sean Payton. Sean Payton is in the danger zone. you better start winning, and he better start winning fast. Fast. We just have
welcome.
Excuse me?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. He better start winning fast. Fast. And today's athlete is not going to deal with that Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick way of coaching. Sean Payton is in the danger zone. Yes.
No doubt. Here's another team you wanted to put in the danger zone. The Las Vegas Raiders. They go with Brock Bowers, the tight end out of Georgia, the much ballyhooed tight end, number 1 tight end on the board. A lot of people thought he might go top 10. A lot of Titans fans wanted him in Nashville. I had no interest in a tight end. Now, he's more than a tight end, people say. They say, he's kind of a Travis Kelce where he can play receiver. He's a weapon, is what they call it. He's a weapon. Not taking anything from him. I think he'll be a good addition for whoever the quarterback is in Vegas. But you wanted to put the Raiders in the danger zone. The floor is yours.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The Raiders belong in the zone. Listen, again, sometimes you have to take a chance. Sometimes you have to take a chance. You need a quarterback. You need a quarterback to be competitive in your own division that has Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. You drop the ball. You got Devontae Adams, man. He is, to me, and still is the best receiver in the league right now as we speak. I would take Devontae Adams over any of them. And this is what you get him, Gonna miss you. The guys, teams trading up this year wasn't giving up number 1s for next year or the year after that. They were giving up 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th round picks. You move up. You move up. You go and get your guy. And now this is what you putting Devontae Adams in now. Now, I like Brock Bowers. I thought that the Jets should have took him with the 10th pick. I thought they should have took him. I really did. But again, Aaron Rodgers has a history of not wanting to deal with rookies and young players and what's not. But you're a quarterback. You're in a division that is quarterback dominated. You got to take your shot because the next year's draft class don't look very well at all. And I don't know anybody that plays for tomorrow. You play for right now. You play for right now, man. And I couldn't believe that Pierce couldn't get them, or convince them that he needs a quarterback. The Raiders need a quarterback. You can't sit pat like that. And you need a franchise quarterback. You're going in the danger zone. Brock Bowers, like I said, I like him. I even had Tennessee taking him. Right. Another weapon. I like him.
Right.
But you need a quarterback. You can't win with the guy you have now. He's a bridge quarterback. And I ain't taking nothing from him. Guy played well with the coach. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't his fault the guy dropped the ball on 4th and 1. He was wide open. That put the Texans in the playoffs. It wasn't his fault. Wasn't gonna miss you.
Yeah, wasn't his fault.
Wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
Nope.
Wasn't his fault. He has shown you he can play, but he's a bridge quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's a prime example of a bridge quarterback. You but you draft your future, man. You draft your future. It's the reason why I don't have a problem with what the Falcons did.
Well, I with all the quarterbacks being gone, I mean, because they were all gone, 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks.
Yeah,
There's nobody left. And if they didn't want to trade up for Bo Nix or Penix or
even McCarthy himself
or JJ, if they didn't want to trade up for those guys, if they didn't feel like the worst thing you can do is reach, in my opinion. The worst thing you can do is reach. And if you don't feel like either one of those last 3 guys were worth trading up for, then I think you take the best available player. You're not doing anything next year anyway. You're trying to build. You're in a rebuild at this point. So you rebuild. If you're bad enough, look, like you said, Gardner Minshew almost got the Colts to the playoffs last year.
Yes.
So
yes, absolutely.
So, maybe they're a 6, 7, 8 win team. You get a couple of breaks. Maybe you win 9 games. You try to battle for that last wild card spot and see if you can get in where you can get in. But I don't have a problem with the Raiders not trading up for a quarterback because I really don't trust Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy. Now, Michael Penix, I think Michael Penix, that would have been a perfect fit to slide into Vegas rather than go to Atlanta and have to sit behind Kirk Cousins. But, it is what it is with the Raiders. So I'm not going to put them in the danger zone, but we would go with you putting them in the danger zone.
Well, let me hear him. Let me see him. Let me see him.
I gotta find it now. There we go.
You're in the danger zone.
Yeah. So the Raiders in the danger zone. All right. Next up, we got the Colts. They took the edge out of UCLA. Latu. Didn't know a lot about him. I saw that he had over 20 sacks, I believe, the last 2 seasons in Indy. Of course, I thought the Colts may go cornerback. There was some talk that they may go Bowers if Bowers was available. He was not available. There were some thoughts that they may trade back and try to get a receiver, but they go edge rusher. They're one of the chief competitors in the division, obviously, with the Titans and with the Texans and the Jags. Your thoughts on what the Colts did here?
It's edge rusher out of UCLA. He also was out of football for a while. He had an injury or something. I was seeing some of the scouts on social media and everything was talking about it. But he fought back and he came back. And if I'm mistaken, I think he led the nation in sacks, didn't he? Didn't he have about 13 sacks, if I'm not mistaken? He had a lot of sacks. The Colts defense, losing Darius, and then the guy that they drafted out of Michigan hasn't came around just yet. So adding another, hey, you're in a division with Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud. So you need to get somebody to get after them. So I mean, as far as the pick, it was a needed pick. They still got a pretty good side of offensive line. So now you have to be able to let your defense help you and get after these quarterbacks, man. Because look here, and Will Levis he's a gunslinger too. He can throw the ball too. So you got to get your edge rusher, man, to get after these guys, man, and try to contain these guys. So I don't have a problem with the pick that they took.
Okay. All right. Next up was Byron Murphy went 16. Byron Murphy from the University of Texas. I thought he may go higher. I think this is an absolute steal for Seattle at 16. I think this guy is a game changer. He reminds me a lot of Jeffrey Simmons with the Titans. I think this guy is a disruptor. I think this was a steal for Seattle at 16. I think he can go in. He can start from day one. He can set a presence on that defensive line. He's a culture setter as well. And that on that defensive side of the ball, of course, Pete Carroll is no longer there as the head coach. So you got a whole new regime there in Seattle. But I think this was a steal for the Seahawks at number 16.
Well, all the mock drafts that I saw, all of them, everyone, most of them had Seattle picking Byron Murphy with pick 16, if I'm not mistaken. He got a motor on him. I watched him. I did my little research on Byron Murphy because I kept seeing him being mocked going to Seattle. And Seattle, under Mike McDonald, he's the new head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, former defense coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens under John Harbaugh. So if you notice how Baltimore pass rush was last year, they had great tackles. And the sacks were spread amongst. So I could see him picking him and being able to move him around a little bit across that line too, that Mike McDonald like doing with his tackles and his ends in the defense that he run. So he can be able to move Murphy from side to side and let him loose. I like the pickup. I like that. I like the signing. Because Seattle, offensively, you can always use offensive linemen. You can always. But they defense, they got Witherspoon, who I think going to be a stud in the league. They got Witherspoon. So you add, now you're going up your interior front line. I like the pick for him because Mike McDonald, he's the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks right now, but he also was a former defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. So he's a defensive guy. So he's going to boost his defense up. Good pick for the Seahawks.
All right. So that's what Seattle did there. So we both love that pick for Seattle. Now we'll get into the second half of the draft and we'll kind of rocket through these picks. Of course, you're watching the Danger Zone live on YouTube, special Thursday night draft edition of the show. Myself, Ken Moore, along with my boy Floyd B, breaking down the NFL draft for you guys. We definitely invite you guys watching on X to hop over to the YouTube channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We definitely want to get you guys comments and your thoughts on the draft, particularly Tennessee Titans fans. How you guys feeling about your new right tackle / left tackle? Now let's take a look at what else happened the second half of the draft. Dallas Turner, edge rush out of Alabama. He was projected to go in the top 10. He was projected to go to Atlanta at number 8. He falls to number 17 in the draft. Amarius Mims, he falls to number 18. He goes to Cincinnati. Turner went to Minnesota at 17. Did Minnesota trade back up? Because I thought
they traded back down. Remember, Minnesota had the 11th pick, remember?
Right.
They traded down.
They traded down. Okay.
They traded down.
Okay. So they traded down.
No. Minnesota had the 11th pick. No, Minnesota went up and got the 11th pick from whoever they traded with. They came up and made the trade with the Jets. And with the 10th pick, Minnesota traded up with the to get the 10th pick from the Jets, and they took J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
They took J.J. Remember, they had 2 first-round picks.
Right. They had 11 and 23.
Right. Now, with the 23 pick, I see that they took the Miles Turner. I mean, not Miles Turner, the boy from Alabama.
Dallas Turner. They took him at 17.
Yeah, so they had to move back up, like you say.
Yeah, they had to move up. They had to move up.
Yeah, they had to move up.
Oh, they traded with Jacksonville. Jacksonville traded back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
here.
I like that pick. Hey, Brian Flores is come from under the Belichick tree. He's a good defensive coordinator. before the Tua was remember, he's the guy that didn't believe in Tua. Miami defense was the one carrying them down there. So Brian Flores knows what he's doing on defensive side of football. And again, he's in a division with Jared Goff and Jordan Love. So you got to get after the quarterback. You got to go get after the quarterback. Good pick by the Vikings. I see the Vikings moving around a little bit, man.
And to give proper credit, we're looking at NFL.com. So Jacksonville traded with Minnesota. Minnesota moved up from 23 to 17 to get Dallas Turner. He helps replace Danielle Hunter. Is that his name that went to Houston, Danielle Hunter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he helps replace Danielle Hunter, who they lost in free agency to the Texans. So good pickup by Minnesota. All right. And then we had Amarius Mims, offensive tackle out of Georgia, went to Cincinnati. Jared Verse went to Los Angeles.
Now, Jared Verse, he was picked by the Rams, right?
Correct.
He's the guy out of Florida State.
Correct.
Well, they had to make a move like that with Aaron Donald retiring. I saw him play a couple of times. Saw him play against Miami. I saw him play against Clemson. He can get after the quarterback. But again, I trust in Sean McVay and that they'll build that defense up. They're definitely going to miss Aaron Donald, man. They're going to miss Aaron Donald. Shout out to Aaron Donald, man. We haven't gave him his flowers, man. Loves his career, man. First ballot Hall of Famer, man. He left out on his terms. And I wish him well in his next journey, man.
Yeah, no doubt. He, and a lot of times it's not what the guys do on the field that you miss. You miss their presence in the locker room and what they mean to the young players in that locker room.
Yeah.
Because I know when the Titans started losing their offensive linemen like Taylor Lewan, and when they lost Ben Jones, they lost a lot of heart out of that locker room. And when you lose a guy like that, it's really, and then they lost Whitworth last year, the big offensive tackle who was the man of the year. So in 2 years, you've lost the heart of your offensive line and the heart of your defensive line. That's a lot to overcome. But they do have a great coach in Sean McVay, who continues to put together a great staff there with the Rams. Their first round pick since 2016 when they made the trade with the Titans for Jared Goff.
8 years. 8 years since the Rams had a first round pick. 8 years.
They've been to 2 Super Bowls without having a first round pick.
Shout out to the Rams, bro. Shout out to the Rams for going all in. And again, they got 2 Super Bowls out there. They won 1. And they stayed competitive. They never tanked. He never sucked. They had a losing season or 2. But that was the cost of going all in. They came right back. They was one of the surprise teams in the NFL last season, the Rams, even making the playoffs. They was a surprise team to me. So I think Sean McVay them will get that together down there. But again, they got to start rebuilding the D-line after losing a legend, man.
Yep. The Steelers with number 20, they went offensive tackle as well. Troy Fontenot out of Washington. Huskies with 3 guys drafted in the first 20 picks here tonight. So that program really did a heck of a job in putting themselves together. Chop Robinson goes to Miami, edge out of Penn State. I think that's a pretty good pickup for the Dolphins on the defensive side. They need some help defensively to try to slow down the likes we talked about. You got that. You have to have guys that can get to the quarterback. And you see the theme. Offensive tackles to protect the quarterback, edge rushers to get after the quarterback. That's kind of the theme of the first round of the draft.
Yeah, they have to get younger and they got to get after the quarterback. Bradley Chubbs They picked him up from the Broncos last season. Was getting into his groove, and then he got hurt. And they had numerous stars on the defense side of the ball that went down. So picking up Chop Robinson, defensive tackle, defensive end out of Penn State. Again, they got to go get the quarterback because they playing in the AFC East. So you're going to have to go and get the quarterback. Again, Miami fell off in the defense. I think a lot of that has to do with injuries. And then Vic Fangio and I don't think McDaniel, I don't think they really got along, kind of clicked alike. There was some issues behind the curtain that I had seen and heard about. So maybe it was a combination, a little bit of everything, but injury definitely took a toll. So again, possibly a starter. He should get right into the starting rotation and be able to put some pressure on the quarterbacks in that AFC East.
Take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles at 22. They go cornerback Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. You have any thoughts on him going to the Philadelphia Eagles?
The Eagles' weakness was their secondary last year, among other things too. I think the coordinators had a lot to do with it as well, but the secondary was straight garbage.
Trash.
They were straight garbage. When we get an opportunity to put the Philadelphia Eagles 2023 defensive squad need all, and they got studs on that front line, man. But them guys played like they wanted to be put in the danger zone.
Punk, you're in the danger zone.
That's how they played. So any additional help that they can go with the defense. Again, now they have a defense coordinator there. I think Fangio went over there. Let's see what he does there. But definitely the Achilles heel to the Philadelphia Eagles was the defense. So picking up a corner and bringing back Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, they brought back the safety. That would definitely help. C.J. Garner-Johnson, they brought him back. So let's see what that helps. But it definitely was a need. It was definitely a need.
Well, speaking of needs, I don't know how much more money A.J. Brown needed, but he got the bag today from the Philadelphia Eagles. Speaking of the Eagles, and if you missed it, A.J. Brown, former Titan, got a 3-year, $96 million extension. I believe $84 million guaranteed. This after Arian St. Brown from Detroit got a big extension on yesterday. A.J. Brown trumps that tonight as he gets a massive extension from the Philadelphia Eagles. So as of right now, A.J. Brown is the highest paid wide receiver in terms of yearly average. Averaging about $32 million a year.
$32 million a year. He's getting $32 million a year, and I think Brown was getting. I think Brown got 30. Yeah, Brown got $32 million a year too.
I think Brown got about $30 million a year.
Yeah,
St. Brown for Detroit.
Yeah. With the line. Shout out to Brown. Shout out to St. Brown. Hey, he deserved his money. He deserved the bag. He got the bag. He earned the bag. Now go get yourself, Detroit. Detroit gonna be strong in the NFC this year, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Lions and focusing on the line. But AJ deserves what he got. My problem with the Eagles is what you gonna do with Devontae Smith?
They already extended him. They extended him 2 weeks ago.
Oh, they did?
Yes, sir. They got them both locked up.
Okay, they locked in.
They got them both locked up.
Hey, I don't have a problem with that. Get your money, man. AJ Brown is a beast. He's a beast. One of the beginning of the end for the Titans was when they traded him. That was it. That was a wrap right there. And now you're reaping it again. I still believe in D Hop and Calvin Ridley as still good wide receivers in the NFL. You know, are they top 10? Probably not. Probably not. D Hop might be on the end of the top 10, might be, but probably not. But I believe in those guys that they can really play. That Levis do have it. That Will Levis do have weapons in Tennessee. But losing AJ Brown was the beginning of the end, man. Shout out to him. You got your bag, baby. Now you know. Go get us a Super Bowl, man. Go give me one, AJ. Bring one.
Yep. Go get it. Go get it. All right. So after that, let's see what we got. See if we can blow this up a little bit.
After that, you got Brian Thomas with the Jacksonville Jaguars drafting Brian Thomas out of LSU.
I like that pick because they lost Calvin Ridley. They lost Calvin Ridley, so this helps
Hey.
replace that for him.
Look at here, big bro. Right now, Trevor Lawrence is in the danger zone.
Oh, he's been in the zone.
Yeah, he's in the danger zone.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's in the danger zone.
For sure.
He's in the danger zone, and Doug Peterson is in the danger zone.
Yep. Yeah,
They're in the danger zone.
Trevor Lawrence is definitely in the danger zone.
Because Brian Thomas is a speedster, but he can route you up to the guy running a 4.3, Ken. He running a 4.3, and he can route you up. He didn't get the talk that Neighbors got Marvin Harrison Sr. But you got a speedster. You got Gabe Davis, who can stretch the field. You got Christian Kirk in your slot. Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, you're on the clock.
Well, how do you see them competing in the AFC South? Where do you see their pecking order? Now that we've looked just based on the first round of the draft, of course, the Texans didn't have a pick. But with the Texans, the Jags, the Colts, Tennessee, it won't stay the same, right?
No.
You never see 1 through 4, and then it's going to be 1 through 4 the next year. I think the Jags, I mean, if they're not careful, man, they can fall to last place in this division.
Them and the Titans will be fighting for last place in the AFC South.
You got that much confidence in Anthony Richardson?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. No. Yes. I got more confidence in his coach.
Okay.
He will not make that mistake again. He will use him the way Jalen Hurts be used. He won't use him as a running back. He learned from his mistake. He learned. But the coaching staff is going to be the problem of Jacksonville Jaguars. I just don't believe in Doug Peterson. I don't. I think his run has came and gone. That little comfort behind victory against the Chargers in the playoff 2 years ago may have gave him 2 or 3 more years, but I think he's exposed. I think he's exposed. I think his style, and don't get me wrong, he come out of Andy Reid, but I think Doug Peterson, I don't think his word is loud in the locker room anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, I don't know about Doug Peterson, but I do not have any confidence in Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's going to have to show me something. Of course, they traded for Mac Jones to provide a little bit of competition in that quarterback room.
Well, competition for who? Competition for who? Doug Peterson? He ain't no competition for Trevor Lawrence, man. Nah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Matt Jones? Nah. I ain't doing them like that. Nah.
All right.
This is on Doug Peterson, man. This is on Doug Peterson. I'm telling you. Trevor Lawrence ain't going anywhere. You and I both know that. Unless he just falls straight on.
No, he's not going anywhere. No,
not going anywhere.
No.
Doug Peterson,
What I'm saying is you have a quarterback in another first round pick that can apply pressure in practice, in the quarterback room, where you just can't sit back and relax if you Trevor Lawrence saying, I'm the number one quarterback and I don't have to worry about anything. Now you got somebody to worry about now. Because if you're not on your job, doing your job, coming with preparation, prepare, and I'm not saying he's not preparing, but I'm just saying there's a reason why they went out and got another guy that was a former number one pick.
So if you okay with that, why ain't you okay with Michael Penix in Atlanta?
No, I'm fine with Michael Penix. I have no problem with Michael Penix in Atlanta. But I thought Atlanta, if you're going to invest $100 million in your quarterback, then you need to go help your quarterback either on the defensive side of the ball, go get you Dallas Turner, who can start and be an edge rusher that can apply some pressure to those other quarterbacks in the NFC that can help you on the field now, because you got a Bijan Robinson, you got a Kyle Pitts, you got all these guys on the offensive side of the ball. You don't have anything on the defensive side of the ball, and that's where you really need to improve this ball club. Why you go and spend $100 million on a quarterback and then you're going to draft a quarterback? That doesn't make any organizational sense to me. It's not an indictment on Michael Penix. I don't care who they drafted at the quarter. They could have drafted the kid Caleb Williams number one, and it wouldn't have made no sense to me to pay Kirk Cousins $100 million.
I hear you on that. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But again, I'm not. Put somebody in there making play for it, just like you said with Matt Jones in the same locker room with Trevor Lawrence. Put somebody in there to put some pressure on it. If you take him in the first round, if you get him via free agents or make a trade for him, however it be, you're putting competition in that group. You put competition in that group. So, I mean, Matt Jones really can. Matt Jones, come on, man.
I'm not pumping up Mac Jones. I'm bringing Trevor Lawrence down to Mac Jones level, because that's where he's trending. That's where he's trending. I'm doing it like this. I'm bringing,
yeah. I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see
this
it.
one. Yeah.
I see
yeah.
it. I see it. I see
Yeah.
it. So, have you always felt this way about Trevor Lawrence, or just because he's in the AFC South?
No, I like Trevor Lawrence coming out of college. I was very concerned. I loved him at Clemson.
Yeah.
I loved him at Clemson. I loved him at Clemson. So, no, it ain't. I was concerned when the Jaguars drafted it. Because remember, the Jets had a chance. It was almost like the Texans and Carolina the last week of the season, where the Texans won and they fell from the first slot to the second slot. The Jets did the same thing the year that Trevor Lawrence came out. They won a game. I don't think it was the last week of the season. I think it was the second or third last game of the season they won, and that put Jacksonville in the number one spot. So Jacksonville ended up getting Trevor Lawrence. The Jets ended up getting Zach Wilson. So you see how that turned out.
Yeah.
So
you see how it turned out.
You see how that turned out.
Straight garbage. That's how that turned out. Straight garbage. That's how it turned out. And the winners out of all that is the Houston Texans. They're the winner out of all that smoke.
Yep.
All the smoke that went down. The Texans.
Yes, sir.
The Texans. And look here. Y'all hit the button to subscribe, the like button. And look here. Maybe next week in the show, I'm going to figure out a way how to put a poll up. And we're going to get people to vote in. And we're going to have to get this straight about you, Ken. We got to get this straight about you. We're going to have a poll. And everybody believe that Ken is a hater to the Houston Texans. Please vote in. Let us know how you feel and how you view Ken, his opinion and his approach to the Houston Texans. I'm calling out to all my Texans fans. Follow us. Social media. Follow us on Twitter, now it's X. Follow us on YouTube. We're going to, in any capacity, my Texans fan. See, I've tried to bring him back home, y'all. I tried to bring him back home. He just hard-headed. There's an old saying down here, we say down here in H-Town, viewers, we can lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink. He's sitting back, y'all, looking at the success, and he's looking at the future. See, the host of this show, he's a visionary. He's a visionary. He sees things. He projects things. He sees the future of the Houston Texans. He sees them in the Super Bowl, people. He sees them. He's a visionary. He sees them. But he just won't accept it. One of the hardest things and difficult things in the world for a man to do is to judge himself. It's hard. He's not going to point the finger at himself. He won't do that. But Texan fans across the world, I want us all to embrace my brother Ken Moe and let him know that the door is always open.
We're going to let you have the last word, my brother, and that was the last word for the show tonight. We want to thank everybody for joining in. If you joined in late, please go back and rewatch the show. Share it out to your friends and family. We'll be back on prayerfully, God, as the old folks say. If God say so, we'll be here on Sunday night, 9:30. Hit that notification bell. But day one of the draft is in the books. We'll do a total recap on Sunday night. We'll see how day 2 goes tomorrow night, day 3 on Saturday, see what else shakes out. As the Houston Texans will be on the clock tomorrow night. What pick y'all got, bro?
They got 43rd, don't we? Yeah, 43rd pick.
Okay.
43rd pick.
All right. What you looking for tomorrow? What position you looking for?
What I'm really looking for is corner. I'm looking for corner. I know safeties is a long shot, but I'm looking for a corner. Depth. Possibly a starter, but definitely depth. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So let's see which way the Texans go over on Kirby Drive. You know, let's see which way they go. In the meantime, see you when I see you.
We see you when you see you. Thank you guys for joining in the Danger Zone. We definitely want to invite you guys on your way out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and we will see you guys on Sunday night. You guys have a safe and prosperous weekend. Tune in Sunday night. We out.
Go Texans. Go Texans. Go Texans. Go Texans.
You're in the danger zone.